Hey there, clodhoppers. One thing that we noticed this week, actually Justin noticed it, is our cat, Nala, is pregnant. Now, you might have noticed in the videos from last Saturday, but I unfortunately did not. So I want to go ahead and show you because now she's showing a little bit more and it's more evident. Oh yeah, she's definitely pregnant. Hey, want to stand up? Show us your belly. Yeah, see how it's sticking out there? Whoops. Side to side. But she gets a lot bigger before she has them. Maybe I'll find the picture from when she was pregnant last time and put that in real quick. Yeah, she likes to do the... Gonna get so big she's about to pop. I'm collecting some trash from the yard because we have two dogs, a pit bull and a Great Pyrenees puppy. The Great Pyrenees is a puppy, so of course there's trash everywhere where they find either stuff that was laying around from the previous owners, or there's it's like a corrugated plastic pipe in the yard. We're not exactly sure what the previous owners were using that for. We're thinking it was for control of water flow because we are on a steady decline for our property, and so the water just rushes down that when we get any kind of a hard rain. So we're thinking maybe they were funneling that to the other side of the barn to direct water around the barn so it wouldn't affect the barn as much whenever we do have those high flow spring rains, because sometimes it can it feels like we're walking through a mini river going from our carport right there to the house right here. Now we do have this overhang from the carport to the house and we do use it sometimes, but we really need to utilize this walkway more. Anyway, just going to show you maybe a couple of little bits of the type of trash I'm talking about that the dogs are making. Alright, and here's our bucket. I think I heard Justin out here. Oh, yeah, that's the chicken that likes to come out front. And there's the hubby. Oh yeah, we're coming up in the world. We got a, what do you call that?
A tripod.
Tripod, there you go.
Flexible tripod.
So maybe we'll get some more steady videos, obviously after this one, but maybe soon. Alright, so we've got ties from trees that we planted that the dogs find because they break our trees. There's cardboard. Okay, now the cardboard is our fault because we are trying to use more natural methods to do our garden. So when they get a hold of that, even though we try to keep it in the backyard, they still occasionally get a hold of it and then they make a mess. The shoes... We like to give Trigger old shoes because when he was a puppy, he loved chewing stuff up. And so it's like, well, we're just going to chunk those shoes in the trash anyway because they're not usable by anyone anymore. And so it gave him something to chew on safely, well, safely for our stuff. And then once he was done, we would just, hey, not a girl, throw it away. That way it got a secondary use out of it, which is what we try to do. Reuse, recycle, reduce the waste. Oh, so I did want to mention, okay, we're not throwing the golf ball away, don't worry. I did want to mention, so, yeah, we can just go ahead and throw that away, since it has a screw in it. So you know how I was getting paranoid about the white snake root? The plant that caused milk sickness for people like Abraham Lincoln's mom. Found that out on that video. I was looking it up to identify it online, see if it was anything like what we have. Well, looks like these butterflies like this one. And these flowers look very similar. So I'm gonna take a piece. I've actually got a piece in the house, but I might have to take a more fresh one and compare it to what's online, because the flowers themselves with the little protrusions sticking up, that looks just like it, and the leaf does look nettle-like, and it's broad at the base and tapers quickly to the end. So if that's the case, we may have to rethink our eventual hope to have a milk cow, because it's a toxin poisoning. This plant produces a toxin, and the mama cow usually isn't killed by it because it goes straight to her milk, but the calf will die, and any person that drinks the milk will get sick. And back then they die. I don't know if they have I don't know, can you call it an antitoxin? It's not a venom. And the dogs do that too. That is, or what, well, it is a turtle shell torn up, so it was a little turtle. Dumb dogs. But they say we gotta eat too. By the way, we do give them dog food. It's not like we don't feed them. In fact, we've upped their feed recently. But they still find things to...
They like to tear up stuff.
Well, yeah, they like to tear up stuff, and they find things to eat that they would if they were running wild. Hi, sweetie. What you doing? Another girl. You don't need to get the trash. Gonna smile for everybody? Smiled and turned away.
Where you going?
So did we lose the rest of our mint?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yep. Wait, I'm smelling mint in there. Oh, because it's the dried stuff. Because this is all milkweed. Yep. So we'll have to get some next year when we go to Pennsylvania. We let it get too dry this year. And our sage died. But our garlic chives are doing okay, and they even went to seed. Let's just stick them over here. And our comfrey. We should cut or pull these side leaves and put them someplace where we want them to nourish another plant.
Okay.
Mr. Sir wanted to go inside, but we still have a little bit of work we need to do. We've got K-cups that I collect at work, and then we dump them in our compost pit. I've tried a new method with these before. I've always dumped them while they're still wet. Hey, I need that lid. Malachi, put it back, please. No. We aren't putting them whole in there. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's just do this one. Coffee grounds and odds and ends. I collect the coffee grounds at work because we don't drink coffee here, but that gives us some good material for our compost pit. And I just collect it through the week. Now, granted, that was only a day or two. Malachi, please do not put the rocks in there. Yes, paper is good, but the rocks need to stay. Now, we realize that coffee most likely is not organic. That is a downside. Malachi, what did I say about rocks? Do not put the rocks in there. Thank you. Would you like to throw this in there? Throw it. Throw it in there. Good job, high five. Yeah. Okay. Need to get this up before it just disappears in there. We don't really know how to weld. The last time I did welding was in high school in ag class, and I wasn't the greatest at it. So I don't know if we'll ever get around to fixing that particular gardening fork, but we have another one, so it's not a dire necessity to have that one. But it would be nice to have two. But we have something even better for our intense work, and that's the broad fork. We bought 2 Meadow Creature broad forks. One of them is I think we did the medium size and the small size because we wanted Malachi and our future children to be able to handle the smaller one, and then we could use the medium one. We were intrigued by the largest one, but we felt that that might be a little more than what we really need on our homestead. Okay, now we're going to cut back some of the dead tops on our cannas, and we figured out a way to do it without having to grab one of the tools. We use our hands as the tools. If you can find a node, put your finger at the node, and bend it over your finger. And of course, when I try to show it on video, it doesn't work. Alright, let's try this one. Node. Right there. It's like a bump in the stem. Bend it over your finger. See how it broke? You can just pull. Then you've broken it off. And we'll put it in the bucket, and then we'll put these in the compost pit, because they'll probably be a slow breakdown over the winter. We've tried putting them in our compost tumblers, but they don't break down very fast, and the chickens aren't super interested in eating them to help break them down. Break them down faster. So we're figuring the compost pit for long-term breakdownage. Okay, yeah, I just created a word. Woohoo! So then I remembered something else that I wanted to tell y'all about. So maybe this won't be quite the short video I thought it would be. That kind of figures, huh? So, this past week, actually it may have been last weekend, I noticed that we had some hummingbirds, and I've been too lazy to make the hummingbird feeder syrup. So we've had one for almost 2 years, and it still hasn't gone outside. But they apparently have been enjoying the Turk's cap. And then, oh yeah, definitely somebody has, because look, one of the blooms has gone to some sort of seed type pod. Kind of looks like a rosehip almost. And then they also like, let's see, that right there, which is the butterfly bush. Purpley spired bush. And those we just planted, what, this spring? Or was it last fall that we planted the butterfly bush?
Last fall.
Before we got Colt?
Yes.
Okay. So last fall. And, sad day, my purple wandering Jew has died. Well, there's a few green leaves. It could come back. So maybe I should take off some of this excess. Let it be mulch for the lavender. Alright, that's more fun on the homestead. See y'all.